Tonight, let us turn inward and become quietly aware of the infinite presence that lives within you. There is a power inside your own mind, a divine intelligence that responds instantly to the words you habitually speak and the feelings you accept as true. When you speak words filled with faith, gratitude, and expectancy, you are not merely repeating phrases, you are setting spiritual law into motion. God's blessings are not distant, nor are they reserved for a chosen few. They flow naturally and effortlessly when your conscious words agree with the deeper wisdom of your subconscious mind. What you say every day, especially in moments of calm belief, becomes the blueprint of your experience. In this message, you will learn a simple yet profound way to speak words that align you with God's abundance, health, peace, and guidance. These words, spoken daily with understanding, will impress your subconscious mind and allow divine blessings to unfold in perfect order. As you listen, relax, believe, and let these truths sink deeply into your awareness. Because when your words change, your life must change. Words are not passive sounds or empty expressions. They are active forces that set spiritual law into motion the moment they are spoken with belief. Every word carries an idea, and every idea seeks expression through the creative power of the subconscious mind. When you speak, you are not merely describing life as it is, you are instructing the deeper mind how to shape life as it will become. This is why words spoken repeatedly and with feeling produce corresponding results, whether those results are beneficial or harmful. The law responds impersonally, without judgment, and always according to the meaning and emotional charge behind the words you choose. Spiritual law operates continuously, just as gravity does. You do not need to see it for it to work. You only need to cooperate with it. When your words are aligned with faith, harmony, and confidence in God's goodness, they activate a powerful inner response. The subconscious mind accepts these words as instructions and begins to arrange circumstances, attract opportunities, and guide actions in ways that fulfill their meaning. This process is natural and inevitable because the subconscious mind must express what it has accepted as true. Many people unknowingly activate spiritual law in negative ways by speaking words of fear, doubt, and limitation. When such words are repeated daily, they impress the subconscious mind just as effectively as positive affirmations. The law does not distinguish between constructive or destructive speech, it simply acts. For this reason, it is essential to become conscious of what you say, especially about yourself, your future, and God's provision. Your habitual speech reveals the beliefs you are planting, and those beliefs are seeds that must grow into experience. When you deliberately choose words of blessing, gratitude, and trust, you begin to redirect the power of spiritual law in your favor. Speaking words that affirm God's guidance, abundance, and protection aligns your conscious mind with the infinite intelligence within you. This alignment removes inner conflict and allows divine power to flow without obstruction. The more calmly and consistently you speak these truths, the more deeply they are accepted by the subconscious mind. Over time, these words become inner convictions rather than spoken phrases. They shape your expectations, influence your decisions, and alter your emotional responses to life. Through this process, spiritual law expresses itself as improved conditions, unexpected help, and a deep sense of peace. Thus, words are not merely expressions of thought, they are commands that activate the unseen forces governing your life. The subconscious mind is the most obedient and powerful faculty within you, and it responds faithfully to whatever is impressed upon it through repetition. It does not argue, analyze, or reject ideas once they are accepted, it simply acts upon them according to spiritual law. Whatever you consistently say, feel, and imagine becomes a command to this deeper mind. Through repetition, an idea moves from a passing thought into a fixed belief. And once a belief is established, the subconscious mind works tirelessly to make it visible in your experience. Repetition is the language the subconscious mind understands best. A single statement spoken once may have little effect, but the same statement spoken daily with quiet confidence begins to sink below the level of conscious resistance. Over time, it becomes familiar, and familiarity creates acceptance. When the subconscious mind accepts an idea, it treats it as reality and reorganizes your inner and outer world to match it. This is why habits of speech are so powerful. They are repeated instructions shaping the direction of your life. Many people mistakenly believe that effort or force is required to change their inner condition, but the subconscious mind responds not to strain, but to consistency. Calm, steady repetition, accompanied by feeling, is far more effective than emotional intensity followed by doubt. When you repeat words of faith, peace, and divine support, the subconscious mind absorbs these impressions and replaces old patterns of fear or lack. In doing so, it alters your automatic reactions, your expectations, and even the way you interpret events. Negative repetition works by the same law. Repeated worries, complaints, and self-criticism are absorbed just as easily as positive. Affirmations. The subconscious mind does not judge the content of the message, it simply obeys. For this reason, disciplined repetition of constructive ideas is essential. By choosing your words deliberately, you take control of the impressions being formed within you and redirect the power that has always been operating unconsciously. As repetition continues, the idea becomes emotionally charged with certainty. At this stage, the subconscious mind begins to act without conscious effort on your part. You may feel guided to take certain actions, notice opportunities you once ignored, or experience inner peace where anxiety once dominated. This is evidence that the subconscious mind has accepted the new pattern. Through faithful repetition, you establish a new mental atmosphere. Old beliefs lose their influence, not because they are fought against, but because they are replaced. In this way, the subconscious mind proves itself to be a perfect servant, responding exactly to what you repeatedly impress upon it. God's power is always present, always active, and always willing to express itself through you. But it operates in harmony with belief. Belief is the channel through which divine power flows into human experience. Without belief, the power remains latent, not because God withholds it, but because the mind has not opened itself to receive it. When you believe, you create an inner agreement with divine law, and that agreement allows God's power to move freely through your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Belief is not blind hope or wishful thinking, it is a calm inner acceptance that something is already true. When the mind accepts an idea as true, the subconscious responds as though it has already been accomplished. This is why belief is so essential. It removes doubt, and doubt is the only thing that obstructs the flow of divine power. The moment belief replaces uncertainty, the subconscious mind aligns itself with infinite intelligence, and a natural process of fulfillment begins. God's power does not operate through strain, pleading, or emotional pressure. It works through relaxed confidence and inner knowing. When you believe that God's wisdom guides you, that belief shapes your decisions and actions without force. When you believe that God's abundance supports you, opportunities appear naturally. These changes occur because belief impresses the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind directs the body, the emotions, and the circumstances of life. Many people attempt to use spiritual principles while secretly doubting their effectiveness. This divided mental state weakens results. God's power cannot be expressed fully through a mind that alternates between faith and fear. Consistent belief establishes unity within the mind, and unity allows divine power to express itself without resistance. As belief becomes steady, the subconscious mind accepts divine truths as facts rather than possibilities. Belief grows through understanding and repetition. Each time you affirm a truth about God's presence, love, or guidance, you strengthen your inner conviction. Over time, belief becomes a natural state rather than an effort. At this stage, faith is no longer something you try to practice, it becomes the foundation of your thinking. When belief is firmly established, God's power expresses itself as peace, order, health, and supply. You no longer struggle to make things happen, instead you allow them to unfold. This is the quiet operation of divine power working through belief, proving that God's presence within you responds perfectly to what you accept as true. Daily declarations are a direct method of aligning the conscious and subconscious mind with divine truth, and through this alignment, blessings are naturally attracted into your life. A declaration spoken consistently is more than a statement, it is a decision about what you accept as reality. When you declare words of faith each day, you are consciously choosing the ideas that will govern your inner world. These ideas, once accepted by the subconscious mind, must express themselves as corresponding experiences. The power of daily declarations lies in their consistency. When spoken once, they may inspire, but when spoken every day, they establish a mental pattern. The subconscious mind learns through repetition, and repeated declarations gradually replace old beliefs of lack, fear, or limitation. As this inner transformation occurs, your expectations change. You begin to anticipate good, and this expectancy acts as a magnet that draws harmonious conditions and opportunities toward you. Declarations are most effective when spoken calmly and with feeling. Emotional strain or desperation weakens their influence, while quiet confidence strengthens it. When you speak words that affirm God's abundance, guidance, and protection, and you feel them to be true, the subconscious mind accepts them as instructions. It then works continuously, day and night, to bring your outer life into agreement with those instructions. Daily declarations also shape your inner dialogue. The words you intentionally speak begin to replace automatic negative thoughts. Over time, these declarations become your natural way of thinking. You no longer need to remind yourself to be hopeful or trusting. These qualities emerge spontaneously. This inner shift is evidence that the subconscious mind has been impressed and is now operating from a higher pattern. As your thinking changes, your actions change without effort. You may feel inspired to take steps that once seemed intimidating, or you may notice opportunities that align perfectly with your declared intentions. These are not coincidences, but the natural effects of a mind that has been conditioned toward blessing rather than struggle. Blessings are attracted not through force, but through harmony. Daily declarations create harmony between your thoughts and divine law. When this harmony is established, blessings flow easily and in the right order. Health, peace, provision, and guidance appear as natural expressions of an inner agreement with God's goodness. Through faithful daily declarations, you place yourself in alignment with the divine current of life, and that current inevitably carries blessings into your experience. Faith-filled speech has the unique ability to dissolve inner resistance that blocks the natural flow of divine good. Resistance is created by fear, doubt, and conflicting beliefs held within the mind. When these negative patterns dominate inner dialogue, they create tension and opposition within the subconscious, preventing spiritual law from operating smoothly. Faith-filled words, spoken calmly and with conviction, bring the mind back into alignment with truth and restore inner harmony. The subconscious mind responds more to feeling than to logic. When words are spoken with faith, they carry an emotional certainty that penetrates deeply into the subconscious. This certainty replaces uncertainty, and as doubt weakens, resistance dissolves. The mind can only hold one dominant belief at a time, and when faith-filled speech is repeated consistently, it becomes the ruling belief. As a result, old fears and limiting ideas lose their influence without struggle or force. Faith-filled speech also quiets mental conflict. Many people unknowingly sabotage themselves by affirming truth while simultaneously entertaining worry. This divided state creates resistance as the subconscious mind receives mixed instructions. When speech is rooted in genuine faith, the mind becomes unified. Unity removes friction, allowing divine intelligence to operate freely through thought, emotion, and action. As resistance dissolves internally, outer circumstances begin to shift. Problems that once felt overwhelming start to lose their emotional charge. You may notice a sense of calm where anxiety once prevailed, or clarity where confusion dominated. These changes occur because the subconscious mind is no longer fighting against itself. Instead, it is cooperating with spiritual law, which always moves toward harmony and order. Faith-filled speech also influences the body. Words of fear create tension, while words of faith promote relaxation and balance. When resistance is released, the nervous system responds, and the body becomes more receptive to healing and restoration. This demonstrates that faith-filled speech affects every level of being, from thought to physical expression. Over time, faith-filled speech becomes habitual. You naturally respond to challenges with trust rather than fear. This habitual response keeps resistance from rebuilding, maintaining a clear channel for divine flow. Blessings are not forced into your life, they arrive effortlessly when resistance is absent. In this way, faith-filled speech proves itself to be a powerful dissolver of inner opposition, allowing God's good to express itself freely and continuously through you. Consistency is the quiet key that allows divine power to unfold in a natural and orderly way. Spiritual law responds not to occasional enthusiasm, but to steady agreement. When your thoughts, words, and beliefs remain aligned over time, the subconscious mind accepts them as permanent truths. Once this acceptance occurs, the flow of divine good becomes continuous rather than sporadic. What once appeared as effort transforms into ease because the mind is no longer shifting between belief and doubt. Any people experience brief moments of faith, followed by periods of uncertainty. This inconsistency interrupts the flow of divine action, not because the law fails, but because the mind withdraws its agreement. Consistency stabilizes belief. Each repeated affirmation of truth strengthens the inner conviction that God's guidance, provision, and protection are reliable. Over time, this conviction becomes so natural that it no longer requires conscious effort to maintain. Consistency also reshapes character. When you consistently think, speak, and act from faith, your responses to life change. Challenges no longer trigger panic or resistance. Instead, they are met with calm expectancy. This steady mental attitude keeps the subconscious mind open and receptive, allowing intuitive guidance to arise at the right moments. What appears as wisdom or good judgment is often the result of consistent alignment with divine principles. The divine flow is unlocked when inner conflict is absent. Inconsistency creates conflict by sending mixed messages to the subconscious mind. Consistency removes this confusion and establishes clarity. The mind knows what it believes, and the subconscious acts accordingly. This clarity allows life to move forward smoothly, with fewer delays and less struggle. As consistency deepens, results become more stable. Instead of temporary improvements followed by setbacks, you experience lasting changes. Peace becomes your normal state rather than a fleeting feeling. Opportunities appear with greater regularity, and solutions arise naturally. These are signs that the divine flow is no longer being interrupted. Consistency does not mean rigidity or strain. It is a gentle persistence rooted in trust. By returning again and again to words of faith and thoughts of truth, you keep the inner channel open. In time, this steady alignment unlocks a continuous flow of divine good. Life begins to unfold with greater harmony, proving that consistency is not merely repetition, but the foundation upon which lasting blessings are built. As we come to the close of this message, remember this simple and powerful truth. Your words, when spoken with faith and consistency, unite your conscious mind with the divine intelligence within you. Nothing outside of you needs to change first. The moment your inner agreement is established, life begins to respond. Spiritual law is always active, always faithful, and always reflecting back what the mind accepts as true. What you choose to say each day is therefore of the highest importance. When your words are aligned with God's goodness, your subconscious mind accepts them as commands and works tirelessly to bring them into expression. Through repetition, belief becomes natural. Through belief, resistance dissolves. And when resistance is gone, divine flow is unlocked. Do not look for signs or force results. Simply remain consistent. Speak these words daily with calm confidence, knowing that God's power within you never fails. Trust the process, for it is already at work beneath the surface of your experience. Every faithful declaration plants a seed, and every seed grows in its own perfect time. Let your speech be filled with gratitude, expectancy, and peace. As you continue to align your words with divine truth, you will find that blessings begin to appear in orderly and surprising ways. This is not chance nor coincidence. It is the natural operation of spiritual law responding to your faith. Carry this understanding with you. Speak wisely, believe deeply, and remain consistent. As you do, you will discover that God's blessings are not something you must chase, they are something you allow, and as you allow them, your life will increasingly reflect the harmony, abundance, and peace that have always been meant for you.